I know it's been a while since we've followed up with this build, and I'm sure throughout the video you're going to see a lot of different parts on the car that I just haven't touched up on, but trust me, everything's coming in due time. It's just a matter of finding that motivation to edit all these damn videos. Yeah, but I'm coming back with a really simple video today. I'm just going to be teaching you guys how to do an oil change on your car. This is the oil that I'm going to be using for today. There's no specific reason as to why I chose this specific motor oil, but it is 5W/30, and if you are aware about your platform, the recommended is 0W20. The only reason why it's 0W20 is honestly because of US emissions laws and stuff. I honestly don't really know the specific, but what I do know is that the Japanese manual tells you 530. So I'm going to be going with the hometown recommendation for this thing, and I'm going to be putting in 530. So you're going to be needing 6 liters of 530 of your choice, or 020, whichever one you decide to go with. I went with the Eco Energy. No reason behind that one, it was just the only one that they had in stock. And then you're going to need about 2, that is also a 530. You're going to need about 2 liters of Gear 300 for your transmission. By the way, if you live in a really cold area, I do not recommend using this. You are going to get really grindy gears when it's trying to heat up your transmission still. And then you're going to need a Allen key, 10 millimeter, or Allen bit in this case. You're going to need a torque wrench, which honestly, if you don't have a torque wrench, don't worry too much about it. I'll explain to you guys later how hard or how much you have to tighten it. And then you're going to be needing a 10, a 12, and a 17 for the oil drain. I just have this full set right here, so I don't miss out on anything. You're also going to want your oil filter, and I mean, you can use anything. You can use K&N. Just make sure that it's for your car specifically. Something that they did tell me at my dealership is that we now use the WRX oil filters rather than the last gen BRZ. So oil filter did change. Be completely aware of that. First things first, with obviously changing your oil, you're going to want to pop your trunk. I do recommend to warm up the engine a little bit, just to, you know, warm up the oil, let the viscosity run a little thinner, and let it drain easier. At least that's the idea behind that. But ignore this part. This is going to be a completely different video. I'm super excited for that. But just going to want to come in right here, unscrew your lid right here, and place this somewhere where you won't lose it. In my case, I'm just going to place it right up here on top of the strut tower. And then here is your filter as well, just so you are aware. You don't want your engine to be too hot because you'll burn yourself when you're draining the fluid. To me, just simply pulling up into your driveway and loading it up on whatever form of elevation that you're going to do, whether it's on the ramps or jack stands or whatever, that's more than enough to heat up the engine. You don't want it any hotter than that because, again, you will burn yourself. My preferred jack point when changing your oil is this part right here. It's usually going to be color matched to whatever car or whatever color your car is, so it's very easy to distinguish. Also, don't mind how dirty the car is. Although it looks really nice outside right now, it's been raining for like the last few days or so. And also, if you guys have ramps or something, I strongly do not recommend using freaking cheap pieces of wood. No reason, just extra safety measures, I guess. But yeah, let's get this thing up here. Yeah, this car is extremely small, so don't be an idiot like me and use semi-truck jack stands. Just use regular jack stands. Then you won't have trouble of literally having millimeters to clear to be able to get the jack stands under. But already on top of the jack stands, one thing you want to do, stoppers on the back wheels. Then you want to come to each of the 4 corners, give the car a little shake. And like I said, yes, I know the car is extremely dirty. Don't worry about that. Front is where it really matters. Don't be too afraid to give it a good little, even with your body too, just like press up against it. It's better safe than sorry. Another thing that I did, put it into first gear so it doesn't roll back. So it's always in gear trying to go forward, and obviously it's going up a giant hill, so it won't be able to. All right, so now we're actually down here. As you can see, this is the front of the car. This is where you jack the car up. And right here, it's gonna be this little triangle. It's just these 3 10 millimeter bolts right here, and then right in there, not sure if you could see it, but right in there is gonna be your, oh, there it is, your oil drain plug. And that's gonna be how you access that. And then the way you access your transmission is gonna be by taking this part off right here. So I believe, unlike last generation where you had to take off the whole thing, it looks like it's only going to be these screws all around. Doesn't look like there's any of these clips. I'm assuming these two right here are part of it. I don't think these are. And yeah, while we're down here too, we're going to also go ahead and loosen up the roll bars, because those are super annoying to drive with. One thing that I used to do from the first generation is I would only take out 2 screws, aka these screws over here to the right. Once these 2 screws are taken, you want to loosen this other screw right here, and then you can just simply twist it out of the way. And then boom, you don't have to take it off, you don't have to be responsible about not losing that, and yeah. All right, so now that this little cover right here is out of the way, as you can see, you now have access to the transmission, which is still a little warm, but not really too much to scare me off. And yeah, that's how you get access to be able to change your transmission fluid. But first, let's go ahead and drain our actual oil first. Don't forget to take out your oil cap for physics reasons, obviously. And then come back down over there and unscrew that drain, and yeah, let it drain. All right, so I got the oil to drain out. As you can see, after only 5,000 miles of driving this thing on 0-20, look how disgustingly bad that looks. This was way overdue in my opinion. Look how dark it is. Holy crap. And oh no, there's a lot of wind. Oh, I'm making a mess. Hold up, let me go grab a hose. All right, now that I'm finished making a mess here, that's where you're gonna get your Allen key, your 10mm Allen key, all the way up here, the fill. Oh, holy crap. All right, so once you think it's done draining all the way, you're gonna wanna grab your plug, and you're gonna wanna take off this little washer right here and replace it with the new one that you got. So let me go ahead and do that because I need 2 hands. Now I just replug it back in. I mean, you can kind of see it in my face. Not even a simple oil change. But apparently there's no clearance, so we now need a 3/8 to 3/8 swivel attachment to be able to get the fill plug out. So we're heading over to Ace Hardware right now. We're gonna pick one of those up, and let's see if I survive to the end of this video. No simple thing can be done simply when it comes to cars. Not even a freaking oil change, apparently. This little freaking swivel device was what we were missing, and oh, I really hope that this works. Maybe. Yeah! Oh! So yeah, when I broke the screw loose, I punched the oil and it went everywhere. In my eyes, if you've ever gotten oil in your eyes, holy crap, it hurts. In my face, on my phone. All right, so next step. You broke this one loose, so you wanna go ahead and take this one out. So now, when you take this other one, it'll drip down. Because physics. Let's go ahead and do that one and hopefully not spill everywhere. At this point, I might as well honestly just I might as well just let it drop to the damn floor for all I care. It's not like I'm freaking saving my damn. Let's see how this looks. Oh my god! Are you freaking kidding me? Why? Actually, it's not that bad, but definitely needs a change, and I think I might even overfill. All right, so now that your oil is completely drained out, you want to just go ahead and close it right back up, and then we're going to torque that to 27 foot-pounds of torque. If you see a teardrop in my eye, it's because it's really cold and it's making my eyes water. I'm not crying, although I should be, because I have every reason to. But drain plug is all put back. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our good old modal. A little tube's going to stick up, and then we're just going to fill it up from the top. And with this one, there's no specific amount. Just keep filling it until it starts spilling everywhere. And yeah, top it off. Yeah, I know it's dark outside. And that's because this has been the hardest fluid change I've ever had to do in my life. And honestly, it's my fault. I should have gone with my gut instinct, or I should have gone with my gut and done my own research. But my parts advisor told me that these new gens only take 1.7 quarts of transmission fluid, so I only bought 2 quarts. Turns out it takes 2.2, just like last gen, just like I thought. So now here I am driving 40 minutes away to the nearest Subaru's part that's still open that closes in 40 minutes. I secured the bag. An hour and a half of driving for 1 liter. All right, so both the plugs on the transmission are on again and torque down to spec. It's 27 pound-feet of torque for both the transmission plugs, and then I believe it's 33 for the oil plug. But to be honest, don't really torque spec the freaking oil plug. It's just what I do it, at least. I do it till as tight as I think is the tightest, and then just a little bit more after that, and that should be more than enough. I've never had a problem with that. Excuse the mess. Yes, it's freaking messy, but everything on the bottom is all buttoned up, torque to spec. Little drain thing right here is put back. The little cloth thing over there is put back. All the undercarriage stuff is put back. And now we just got to start the car. Just kidding. I still got to put the oil in. All right, so you do need 5.6 liters of fluid. All right, so I just made this one out of just the top of a Fanta. Any 2-liter soda will do. And yeah, start pouring. And it's sealed. What I like to do is I like to pour in just the 5 liters at first, and then start the car, get it to run through the engine a little bit, and then continue filling it up as I see fit. Something that I completely forgot to do as well, and luckily this is a top mounted filter, so it's not like it would spill if I took it off, but yeah, you want to go ahead and get the new filter in there, obviously. Something that you do need to do is you want to lube up this part of it. I like to use the old oil. I'm just gonna bring it on over here. Dip my finger in it and just lube up the entire. There's no specifications to the torque on this. You just want to do it hand tighten pretty much. So, although I'm a little weak right now, as tight as your hands can go. So that's pretty good right there. Yeah, and boom. Now we'll start the car up, see how much oil it needs, and then fill it up from there. All right, so we drove around for a little bit, let the engine settle with the 5 quarts, and then we let the car sit for about 5 minutes just to let everything settle back into the colder temperatures. And it's still a little low, so we're just gonna add that 0.3 extra that the manual recommends, and then tomorrow I'm just gonna drive it around, carry this with me, and if it requires any more, I'm gonna fill it up more, and if it doesn't, I mean, hopefully I did it right the first time, so we'll see. Bloop, 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 bloop. And yeah, that's it. A couple little things that I would advise on just after doing this, and I mean, clearly you guys saw the struggle on how everything went down. Make sure you know how much you're going to be putting in. Read the damn owner's manual. Don't listen to the parts consultant. Don't listen to the guys at the dealership. They called my car an FRS, so yeah, that should have been the red flag to begin with. Get proper jack stands from the very beginning. Don't try to use semi truck jack stands. They're just so tall for this car. For any other car, they're fine, but for this car, it's just overkill. You go through so much hassle just to get it on top of the jack stands than doing the work itself. I'm pretty sure the hardest part was getting all the materials and all the equipment ready to do the job rather than doing the job itself. And because of all that stress, doing the job itself became stressful as well. Final word of advice would be, grab a beer sooner in the job. Don't wait till the very end. Grab a friend. Don't just do this by yourself, because you're just gonna, it goes from being shits and giggles and having fun to, you know, doing maintenance and doing chores, and that's not what this car's about. This car's about learning. That's what's awesome about doing your own maintenance, is that even though you guys saw me go through hell and back to change my oil, I learned a lot, and that's the whole point of this car, and the whole point of just building cars in general is just a learning experience. So, I mean, I know now, and I have new equipment to work with. I have the little swivel attachment. I have I think that's all I bought, actually, but I mean, that in itself is a pretty good tool to have. But yeah, that was the quick and easy tutorial on how to change your oil, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this super simple, easy, no problems throughout the entire thing tutorial, and I hope you guys have as stress-free of a job as I did. And I'll see you guys in the next video.